Troops, here we are. It's a Sunday. We're still in the middle of this lockdown madness, but it's all about making the most of the situations that you find yourself in. I've scoured the world of social media and I've found another absolute missile, another woman on a mission. It seems to be all about women on a mission at the moment. It's Nicole. How are you doing?
I'm all right, thank you. How are you?
I'm very well. Tell the world what businesses you have and why you're taking over the world.
Taking over the world. So, yeah, my name's Nicola and I'm a personal trainer.
Yeah.
But I've established my business online mainly. So, although I have face-to-face clients, I do a lot of social content and stuff like that, free content for clients. But yeah, the business is called Nico Fit UK. And I also do food and calorie counted recipes at Nico's Kitchen.
Wow, there's a lot to take in. Your PT business, how has it changed in the new climate of COVID-19 and social distancing? I know you probably like to social distance from some people, as I do. I feel like I've been practicing it for years.
So yeah, obviously straight away the gyms were closed. That was a couple of Fridays ago. And I kind of pondered that weekend whether or not it would be worth setting up outdoor boot camps or going to people's houses and doing the odd PTs. And before lockdown came into play, I think most of the country would have known that that was going to come in anyway, considering what had happened across Europe. So I didn't really put any time into setting anything up like that. And I put a statement out straight away to my clients saying just that I'm not going to set up any home PTs. We'll just kind of ride this out. And I'm here to do a home. Everybody's got a free home plan to work to that I sent out to all my current clients. Yeah. And then, everybody's on hold. I've had a couple of clients that have stayed on to do FaceTime PTs. So that's been all right. And I've still been able to do a few online nutrition plans. I think people who haven't been clients before are reaching out at the minute to get some home support because they just don't really know what they're doing. So yeah, I'm all right. I'm not necessarily working. You know, I usually do like a 40, 50-hour week. So I'm welcoming the break a little bit as well.
So as someone who's self-employed, how are you finding it sort of financially? I know the government have helped pretty much everyone out. I think they've gone above and beyond the Call of Duty, but I know there is some people who have sort of fallen into some loopholes where they sort of don't get the help or the grants. So how are you finding that process?
Yeah, when June comes, all self-employed people will get the grant, and I've got a great accountant and she sent out all the information without me having to go searching for it, which I weren't expecting, so that's helped a lot. But I actually should have been driving to Las Vegas today with my boyfriend. We should have been in America. So it's a bit bittersweet, but obviously I'd saved up for that holiday. And because it was a tour of the west coast of America, I'd saved quite a good lump of money that I wanted to spend while I was out there, especially in Vegas. So I've got at least enough money to fall back on at that point. But yeah, we should get some help in June. I'm not worrying too much about it. I'll just take it as it comes. We'll see what happens. I'm trying not to plan. I'm a big planner, and this whole COVID-19 has definitely thrown a spanner in the works for me. I'd usually be planning like weeks and weeks ahead, and at the minute we can't really plan more than 24 hours ahead. So just gonna see what happens. I've got some savings, so it's all right if I need it.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like you can go out on the lash, is it? Or you can't go out and, realistically, obviously we should all be staying indoors anyway, unless you have to go for the essentials. So spending money, realistically, you can't, unless you're on the Amazon beasting it.
The truth is, right, I don't ever drink. Me and my boyfriend last night, we worked out we spent 90 quid on alcohol this week, going out and buying bottles of gin, bottles of whiskey, bottles of wine. And I think my whole kind of day-to-day routine has changed loads. And just like I say, I feel like because I'm not on holiday, I think I'm like, oh, sorry, I should be on holiday now anyway, let's have a drink.
So you're in that mindset. How much support do you have to give your clients, and are you mindful over this time where the longer this goes on, people will naturally trail off, people will lose motivation? It feels like it's the shit version of Christmas. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's how it feels to me.
To be honest, clients at the minute are needing more mental support and just chatting to you than they do the kind of PTs or talking about nutrition. Like, I'm literally messaging clients all day, every day, where a lot of them are saying they're struggling, one, with not having a routine or being stuck in the house. Obviously, I think that's quite a common one. I think some people at first, their worry was that they were going to put weight on or fall out of love with working out. But I think I'm very much a realist with my clients, and that's how I kind of grew my client base from the start. I weren't marketing to the world, I was marketing locally.
Nice.
And you know, just talking to very real, very normal people in the local area. And I just said to me, no, this is just not a normal situation. Don't beat yourself up about it. I've completely taken myself away from checking in, looking at my body, weighing myself, seeing how clothes fit, taking pictures. Like, I'm not doing it because it's not a normal situation. And we don't need to necessarily adapt to it forever. Just adapt for now and just take each day that comes. Enjoy the time at home. You've not got any commutes. There's no 5 o'clock starts in the morning. You haven't got to prep your meals if you don't want to. I'm trying to remain active, but it's not for aesthetics. I'm just doing it because I like to get fresh air into my lungs, and I've got arthritis and torn meniscus in my knee. So for me, it's good to be mobile.
Oh, wow.
So, you know, I've completely changed how I'm looking at it, and that's how I try and talk to my clients, really, and try and get them to look at it in the same way.
Do you know what? I think you've hit the nail on the head there. If you can come out of this, if the worst thing is you come out of COVID-19 and you've put a bit of timber on, then that's not. It's not a bad thing.
Thing is, there's going to be no holidays this summer, no beer gardens, no day sessions, no parties. So really, you don't need to look your best. Just get through this mentally, and you know, just get ready. You know, it's a good time to be. I keep saying to my clients, why don't you go on Groupon? You know, if you're really stuck for stuff to do, go on Groupon. They've got a ton of online courses if you want to get a new skill. Especially look at nutrition. There's tons of nutrition courses, and it's a way for my clients to learn more about what I know. And then I'll tell them, try cooking, look at my Nico's kitchen, get a recipe off there, kill a couple of hours making a recipe every day.
You brought it up there, Nico's kitchen. Let's talk about obviously you've got a passion for food and a passion for good food. Where does that come from?
I just love my food. I'm a big foodie. I eat out probably 5-6 times a week, mostly breakfast and brunch. I go out with my sister-in-law and the girls, and we'll go out for brunch. So I've got a nephew, so try to spend time with him. And me and boyfriend will go out for dinner at least once a week, hopefully. And but yeah, I've always been into food. I'm like a fat girl in a slim body, really. I have to train because I eat so much. That's the truth. And you know, my friends and people around me will always say, I don't know how you can eat that much. But I don't know anyone that can eat as much as you can. Me, my dad and my brother are just like bottomless pits. My mum doesn't eat a lot, but my dad likes to cook. My mum likes to bake. I've got the cooking off my dad. I'm not a big baker. So.
Nice. And obviously, is this one of the things with your clients, calorie counting, MyFitnessPal, in versus out? Is this what you promote?
Yes, yeah, definitely. And it's not easy, and I know that, going through 2 cuts. And I did a cut years ago as well. I think I went to New Zealand for a month when I were 27, so I did one leading up to that using a different personal trainer. This is before I ever got into it. And I try and promote that as this most simplest way of managing obviously your weight, whether you want to put muscle on or lose fat, whatever you want to do. It all comes down to calories in versus calories out. But it's not easy. It's not easy. It's not as easy as people say. It's a total mindset change that has to happen. You can't just be like, right, I'm going to diet. That's it. It's not as simple as that. I know that. I struggle to diet. That's why when I did my competition the second time at end of year last year, because I was coming up to being 30, I was like, I want to lose some weight, but I won't do it without that goal. So the competition was 6 days before I turned 30, and I'm like, perfect, I'll do that.
Wow. So you put yourself, for those who obviously don't know, you do Bikini Pro model, which obviously we know each other through Rebecca, and that whole process is brutal, isn't it? Not just physically, but mentally brutal, because you're putting your image and body shape to be judged, which in the current climate seems to be a very, very hard thing to do. So fair play to you for that. When you do that, do you have like a last meal sort of thing before that whole process starts, or you just say, right, I'm on it, and I dive straight in?
I did the first time. So I did 2 competitions last year. I started a prep in January and I started a prep in August. The one in January, I got a co-op family-sized cheesy pasta microwave meal.
Right.
And I chucked it in microwave, and I think it took me about 90 minutes to get through it all. I'd put it down and come back to it, put it down, come back to it. And then this time I was in Dublin the weekend before with my boyfriend, and I said to him, you know, on the way home, I want to have everything on the way. I want to have chocolate, I want to have this, that, and other. But I didn't. I just ended up having it was the one, like the first time in months that I was just like breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and that was it. Or breakfast, dinner, tea, depending on where you're coming from.
Whatever.
It were. I think we might have had a takeaway, but it weren't anything obscene. So, but yeah, that were it. I think this second prep I did it myself. I didn't have a coach, so I could be a little bit more flexible. So there weren't as much pressure with my food. I had a few nicer meals, like I made homemade curries or homemade pizzas and stuff, and still managed to shift quite a ton of weight.
What is it that we struggle with as human beings with this whole losing weight thing? Is it because bad food is just so readily available?
I think so. I think it comes down to accessibility, and I've said this before. It's like with smoking and drinking, for example, there's an age limit on it. If you put an age limit on buying bad food, there wouldn't be as much of a epidemic. There'd probably be people sneaking it. But if, say, alcohol and cigarettes didn't have an age limit on, you'd have a child epidemic of smoking or drinking, because children would have alcohol. I used to try and get alcohol and fags when I was 12, you know what I mean? So, but it's a lot harder. So it's the accessibility, and that's it, you know, food and chocolate and cakes and stuff became so readily available a couple of decades ago that anyone can just get it. And yeah, I think it does come down to that. And it's so good, it's so tasty, and it's an emotional problem for a lot of people as well, emotional eating. And it's I wouldn't say it's necessarily, it depends how you look at it. I wouldn't say it's necessarily self-destructive, but I think some people can end up using it like that. I don't know, everyone's different, aren't they?
Yeah, no, and I probably used the wrong word there when I said bad food, because technically there's no such thing as bad food. It's quantity of food, isn't it?
Yeah.
And very clever weight loss companies have used great marketing to say that a pizza is bad food. Technically, it's not, because it's all about realistically what we talk about, isn't it? In versus out.
Yeah.
I mean, a big pizza could actually be a hell of a sort of MyFitnessPal macro boost, couldn't it?
Yeah. I think
what you're going for.
The other way I've been able to kind of relate to clients quite easily as well, and again locally, not trying to reach too far. Not only have I done this last year doing the 2 competitions, but I have struggled with binge eating in the past. So I had a really serious binge eating disorder, and that was off the back of that original shred I did just before I went to New Zealand when I was 27. And that cut that I did with the girl back then was crazy. Like, I didn't know how bad it was until I did my own training, and I think I worked out I was eating like 1,000 calories a day, but I was training about 10 hours a week. So it made me really, but you know, it was just meant to be like a little diet, but I lost my periods, and then off the back of that I went to New Zealand about 2 days after that cut had finished. Well, I just ended up going absolutely ballistic the whole time I was in New Zealand. I was on my own, so I had nobody to kind of control that, and I was just traveling from north to south, so I was on a bus a lot of the time. Snacking. And the food I was consuming, I must have been spending about 15 quid a day on food, on snacks, just eating and eating and eating. And like at the breakfasts at the hotel, I'd wrap up like 2 or 3 sandwiches, and I'd eat them before 10 o'clock on way down to the next city. So that was something I was always really honest about when I first started, as well as talking about the fact that I can relate to that, because I know when I put it out on social media, the reaction I get to that, the amount of people that struggle with binge eating, or at least think they're binge eating. Maybe a lot of people think they're binge eating because they've eaten a McDonald's, but that's not binge eating.
No. Do you think? So over that 2-week period of you being in New Zealand, could you physically see that you put weight on?
Oh yeah, none of my clothes fit. I was like living in baggy shorts, baggy jumpers. Yeah, I just put all my weight. I came back, I think I'd only lost 10 pounds doing that cut in 10 weeks. And I came back, I put about 2 stone on.
Wow. I mean,
and then I struggled for months and months. I would have because I didn't know at the time that plan I was doing was so bad. I would go back on it for 2 to 3 weeks. Then I'd binge for a week, then go back on, and then binge again. And then I thought, this isn't right. You know, I started getting to a point, you won't believe it, but I actually tracked in MyFitnessPal how much food I'd consumed in snacks alone one day. Luckily, I was working in an office at the time, and you know, we were all laughing about it at work. Oh my God, why aren't you stopped eating? Why aren't you stopped eating? And in one day in snacks alone, I consumed 15,000 calories in one day. And
Jesus
then I was like, right,
Christ.
I really need to look at this, because I tracked it in my fitness pal and it said, if you continue eating like this, you will be 17.5 stone in 5 weeks. So I'm like,
wow.
oh my God. So I started looking into it, learned about binge eating disorders. And the second I kind of brought my calories up every day and reduced my output, my training, my periods came back, the binging stopped, everything got under control.
Wow.
And then that was one of the driving forces to me wanting to then get into personal training and nutrition more so, because I thought nobody needs to go through that. And I trusted that trainer, and I think a lot of people do trust the trainers. You just do as you're told a lot of the time. And it's very scary that there's people out there that can be regulated to do stuff like that.
Wow, I mean, that's thanks for telling us that, because like that is unbelievable. 15,000 calories. I mean,
I had 12 bananas in one day. That was part of the binge. 12 bananas.
you're on that King Kong diet there, weren't you? Do you know what I mean?
The ultimate bulk.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've always been really open and honest about stuff
Fair
like this.
play.
When I'm doing my cuts, my competitions, I'm honest about everything I go through, all the ups and downs. And I think it becomes relatable to people then, which is a good niche for me, really.
Wow. I'm just trying to think. Obviously, it's like your body went from famine, like so restricted, to like this binge over the 2-week period. I wonder if your body just went, okay, now what we're doing, and just didn't know how to process.
Well,
do you know what I mean? Just didn't know because if you've gone from 1,000 calories a day, that's
ridiculous. I'm all in, you see. So if I'm doing something, I'm doing it 100%. And I used to sit at work doing this cut that she put me on, and I used to cry. I used to be crying in office because people would bring cakes and they were like, I can't have it in. They're like, oh my God, you're literally just dieting for a holiday. What are you doing to yourself? Like, it's not that extreme. You don't need to be that extreme. But yeah, and then obviously worked out. I'm 5'10", and generally I sit around 11.5 stone. So eating 1,000 calories a day and then training that much just isn't healthy at all. I never did that when I competed. Yeah. So it was definitely a learning curve. So I guess I can always say to my clients, I know how it feels to be binging. I also know how it feels to commit to a diet, and it's nice to understand that.
One thing that's fascinating me at the moment in the current climate, obviously we're very limited to what we can do when we go out. So this whole, you can go out for an hour exercise. Mm-hmm. I've seen that everyone has joined Strava. Even Boris Johnson's joined Strava. But running doesn't suit everyone, does it? And if you're a big lad or lass, actually just putting a set of running shoes on, which you bought from Sports Direct the week before we went to lockdown, did they fit properly? Have you got, there's a lot to it. And I think there's a lot of people going to get shin splints, knee problems, hip problems, ankle problems, because they've gone from, I don't know, the normal gym life, spinning, those types of classes, into pounding the road. Like, I know someone who's trying to run a marathon, and I'm like, it's brutal on the body to run a marathon on road. Like, that is a lot of impact, and you need to realistically be as light as you can be to take all the impact off your knees. Would you say running is probably not a great way to start a journey if you're sort of really unfit and your body's completely out of that whole yin and yang of fitness?
I think going into it thinking you could run a marathon out of nowhere, it's definitely detrimental. 1, to your body, and 2, to your mind, because you'll go out and try and do it and be like, crap, I can't do this. And it'll probably put you off. And I think that's the same with anything in the fitness journey. Like, you can't just throw yourself in. I think I put a post on my Instagram the other day about it, saying people go all in straight away instead of just making 1 or 2 little lifestyle changes, because people want immediate results. But actually, a lot of the time, to be able to do something so full bore immediately it quite often fails, and then it'll leave you feeling very demotivated. But running, I love to run, but like at the minute, because I know I've put some weight on during this quarantine, I'm not running because I've got bad knees, bad shins. I find it harder to run, so I'll just go out and walk. I love walking. Take it all in, go for an hour. Don't really plan where I'm going. I'll just walk for an hour and try and come back. You burn about 450, 500 calories. Yeah,
walking is a perfect way to lose timber, because it's low impact, and if you can put a rucksack on your back, we were put on this earth. That's what we did. That's how we got about. Do you know what I mean? And you got like, I always sort of say to people, if you think about tarmac roads, our bodies, we didn't do that. We used to run in the fields, in the mountains, and them hard surfaces, like a tarmac road or the path. We're not used to that, and we haven't adapted. Our body hasn't adapted, and that's why loads of people get sort of foot problems. I mean, at the moment we're all adapting, and I've gone on a big running thing because I'm running a 60 miler in September if it doesn't get cancelled. Yeah, well, yeah. But before this lockdown, I was up to like, I'd like to say sort of 18 miles comfortably, like a comfortable 18 miles. I can't do that at the moment with a time period.
No.
So I've gone for speed over distance. And like yesterday, I ran a 5K PB, which I haven't ran a 5K PB.
What did you get?
22 dead.
Jeez, that's rapid.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm going to put it out there. I had another 30 seconds off that because I afterwards, when with all this like weaving around people and social distancing, there was a bit where I had to like weave around the world to get past this group of people.
That's rapid.
And I thought, you know what, I reckon, and now I've said to myself, I'm going to see if I can go sub 20. Like I've set a real bar. Sub 20 would be flying, but no, you raised some great points, and we talked just before we come on the podcast. I'm interested in food, but I'm interested in what sorts of foods we can be eating like now to help boost the immune system, because obviously there is this virus kicking around out there, and your body has to be strong from the inside first, doesn't it, before you can worry about the strong from the outside bit.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's hard at the minute as well to be in good food routines. I think, again, it comes back to that kind of emotional feeling a bit crap. Everybody wants to eat chocolate, or, you know, I've been eating a lot of pizzas and pastas, and there's, like you said, there's nothing wrong with them in moderation, but they're not homemade, they're not fresh, they're out of boxes, took from the freezer, because I just can't be bothered. I cook all the time, and I'm like, I can't be bothered. So again, I can understand that people won't want to necessarily eat good, but yeah, obviously, as much whole food as you can eat, nutrient-dense foods, superfoods, so lots of green stuff, you know. Smoothies are a great way to get your vitamins in, but you could take a vitamin tablet every day. Obviously food's a lot better for you if you can get it in that way. But yeah, everything that's not kind of saturated, refined, out of a box, out of a freezer, which is a bit hypocritical coming from me, but yeah, I mean, we've got all time in world, so for people who don't typically cook because they're short on time, try cooking. It's a good way to kill a bit of time, and I think you get a lot of satisfaction from learning to cook and cooking your own meal, not only from the taste, but you can feel proud of yourself as well.
I
New
think it
skill
gives
in the bag.
Yeah, it gives you portion control as well, doesn't it?
Yeah,
when
absolutely.
you physically see what's going in.
Yeah, and you can actually get, if you make your own food, you can get so much more volume. Like I don't typically cook with oil or anything like that, and that saves you a ton of calories. So you can, you know, if you make it fresh yourself, you save so many calories from buying it out of a box, like I say, or as a ready meal or something you can make. You can get a lot more volume and fill your belly a lot easier.
So when your clients come to you, what is it, predominantly women or predominantly men, or is it a split?
Predominantly women, and my demographic on Instagram is about a 70% split women to men as well. Right. Which is, I don't necessarily market to women. I don't say, oh, women come and work with me. I do have a few male clients, and they tend to, I've got some long-term male clients, but yeah, it's generally women that do come to me, which is nice. It's nice to think that I can appeal to females. Yeah.
What normally is the goal that people are looking for?
Weight loss, usually. Weight loss. Most people say abs. And and to grow
abs.
the bums.
I want abs.
Get that a lot, you know, and I'm always honest about abs. Like I don't get abs until I'm about 4 weeks out from my competitions, which is, you know, 14 weeks of extreme dieting and exercise. And yeah, a lot of time it's to do with where you start from with your weight and stuff. You know, somebody slim comes to me and says, I want abs, you could probably achieve it. But I think a lot of people get mixed up between abs and a flat stomach. Like most people actually just want a flat stomach. Like, do you want veins and abdominal separation and stuff, or do you just want a flat tummy?
It's crazy to think that we value fitness as abs.
Yeah.
Because that means you've got obviously a low body fat percentage.
Yes.
To show we've all got abs. Everyone's got abs.
Yeah.
it's what sits in front of them. And
Mm-hmm.
what percentage, is there like a golden rule of percentage that you have to get down to before your abs will start to show? It's got to be
No,
low, soon.
it would be low, but like the first time I competed, I was a lot leaner than this last time, and I only got to 16% body fat, which is still athletic for a woman. It's still a low level of body fat. But like the last time I competed, I had abs, and I was 21%. But I weren't as lean. You could see my abs, but I weren't as lean. I weren't vascular where I was in my first prep.
Wow. And obviously this comes from I think it comes from shows, and to be honest with you, I quite like it, Love Island. But it comes from shows like that, doesn't it? Do you know what I mean? And sort of certain body types. The lads always kind of look similar, the same, and then the women are obviously along a mold. And I feel like we're trying to say that that's what beauty is, or that's what how you should look. And it's like,
sorry, I was just going to say, I'm so glad I'm not a teenager or a young adult in this day and age. Like, I'm so glad I just missed the social media hype. Like, it just missed our age group. Because when I first got Instagram and stuff, like most girls and guys get it for, you start following these people that you aspire to look like, you know, these really lean, ripped up, absolute monsters in the gym. They love training, they love eating well, they've got like the best people in the world working for them. And then as I got older and I got to this, you know, I was telling you earlier about, I got to 23 and life got amazing, and, you know, I started getting more confident. And as soon as I reached that, I was like, why am I following these people? Because I'm never going to look like them. These girls are like 5'2". The waists are like the size of a small dinner plate. Like, I'm never going to look like them. And I started unfollowing them, and that was a really healthy thing to do for me back then. And now I can look at people and I can appreciate the work that goes into the bodies, but I don't feel like I've time to look like them. Where I think a lot of young people are still stuck in that wanting to look like these people, that it's just probably never going to happen for them.
Yeah, and what they don't tell you is prior to this show, they went through a 12-week boot camp where they had beauticians, fashion, PTs, like they had the works. Do you know what I mean? It's very. You've got to watch it and sort of just think, but they're not doing a normal day-to-day life. So for me to get to aspire to look like whoever, it's not realistic. And I always feel, and you're right, like I'm 36, so like I'm the same as you. Like, I missed this sort of this whole, you've got to look a certain way and you've got to have designer tattoos. Like, do you know what I mean? How about you can just have a bit of a crack and be a bit fun?
It must be tough. It must be really hard for young people. I do feel for them, because you know, there is a certain, if you're not this type of person, then you're nobody in a lot of ways for these millennials.
And everyone's faking it till you make it, and I see right through it straight away. Like, you probably get it a lot. I sort of get it a bit, where people like message me saying you can buy sort of 10,000 Instagram followers for £1,000, and I'm like, the day I spend £1,000 on 10,000 Instagram followers, it's over for me as a human being.
Well, like, when I first started my personal training, I had 500 followers on Instagram, which is about as many as I followed as well, and still do. And I obviously set myself a target to try and grow my social media. My background is digital marketing, so I already had the kind of. It really, really helped me in trying to grow my business and stuff. It was definitely something that benefited me. And I set myself a target to try and grow my social media by 100 people in 12 months, because that just didn't happen. And I think I managed to double or triple it in that time. Like, I got to about 1,500 within the first year. And then I think I'm just over 2,000, which to me, I'm like, oh my God, I've got over 2,000 followers. But to someone else, I'd be like, oh God, she's a nobody, which is fine. I put it on my social media before. I'm not trying to market to everyone in the world. I'm happy. You know, I run all my own social media. I run my own little business. Like, I probably couldn't take on any more, to be honest. In terms of new followers.
No, that's fair enough. We're flying through this, mate. So I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to go into the questions. So
go for it.
This is a special COVID-19 5 watts. So everyone's routine has changed. There's very, very few people that got the same routine in the current climate. So what does your day look like?
Well, I now get a lie-in, which is unheard of. My days usually start at 5 o'clock every day, so being able to stay in bed till like 8, 9 o'clock is just amazing. And then generally I'll get up and either have breakfast or go out for a walk. Generally I've been having breakfast first because I can just eat at any point now, but I'll go out for like an hour's walk and then come home, and then I'll probably reply to a few client messages. And then over lunch, I'll be doing my live. I keep doing some live free workouts online on Instagram and Facebook for whoever wants to join them, which have been quite well received, which is nice. And I'm always so nervous about doing them. Then I usually have a siesta, which is normal for me. When my 5 o'clock starts, by 1 o'clock I'm dead. So I'll go to sleep for an hour or two, and then get up and just catch up with family, really ring my granddad and ring FaceTime, all family, FaceTime my nephew, my parents, and the day's gone. It just like that, straight through.
Yeah. And then get on Disney Plus.
Now I've been watching that Tiger King on Netflix.
Yeah, I absolutely love it. Yeah, I think I could do like a Tiger King special podcast. He appeared on the Louis Theroux program, I think I want to say 2013, 2014. So I was sort of aware of who he was then, but this documentary is absolutely blown my mind into just...
I'm only 3 episodes deep, so what happens.
You think, every episode you think, it can't get any wilder, but it just... anyway, Joe Exotic, what a guy. Never a boring night out when you out with Joe Exotic.
Why have they all got like 3 wives and 3 boyfriends? That's what I don't get.
They do a lot of drugs.
Every one of them.
Yeah. They do a lot of meth. That's why, yeah. And I was saying to my friend, like, at least I don't truly think one of them is actually gay. I think he's just sort of like he's either there because he either loves tigers or he loves meth. It's one of the two. Maybe he's a bit of both.
But, we were saying that last night. We're like, all these people, it's like a cult, isn't it? They don't know what they're getting drawn into.
He was clever because he found wraiths and strays and he said, I'll give you a roof and somewhere to work and I'll make you part of a community. When someone's lost community and you offer them community, they'll be like, I'm on it. And then they become loyal to you. And that's why no one ever said to him, just chill the fuck out with this Carol Baskin thing because you're going too far. I mean, she's just as mad as he is. She's the opposite of him, but on the other scale, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Carol Baskin, crazy.
My jaw hit the floor when they started telling you about that ex-millionaire husband. I was like, what? Where's this come from? I thought she was like saving grace. Honestly, I was like, what? So I feel like every episode's going to get better. Yeah,
no, it certainly does. Sort of covered it there, but what workouts are you doing?
So every other day I'm doing the live HIIT workouts, which I am fully involved in. Like I do the whole class instead of coming away from it and being like, you guys keep going. So I get a really good workout from that. I'm doing my walking, and then I'll be honest, I've done one resistance session, which was a live like body tone style session yesterday. But my weights weren't heavy enough. Like I still got a good calorie burn, but I've done absolutely no resistance training. I've got a few bits of weights at home, but I've done nothing, which is like I never usually do that. I usually train heavy about 4 times a week, so I'll probably lose some muscle mass during this period, but
it'll come back.
It'll come back. That's it. It's know, it might be 2 months while we're locked away, but you've got forever to sort it out. So just enjoy it for a while. Enjoy not lifting for a while.
That's a fair point. Third one, mate. What have you started? Is there anything new that you've started that you've always wanted to do, didn't have the time, and now time is all you have?
Yeah, I think these like online workouts, these lives, although I absolutely shit myself before I do them, like it'd be terrifying me. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's, so I'll write the workouts down and then I'll go about an hour before and then I'll go to them and I think, God, these are going to be really hard. Like, and I think I get scared that I'm not going to be able to do it on the camera, but I always manage to, whether they look good or not. Like it kills me a lot of the time, but I don't know if it's that or if it's because you worry, God, I don't know who's watching, or you can't see if people are just looking to be nosy. It makes me all nervous. I don't know. I get really nervous, but I've really enjoyed doing them, and it's something that I think I'm going to carry on with when we go back to normal. And then doing a bit more online coaching as well. I'm definitely a people person, and you can tell I can rattle on, but I like speaking to people face to face. So personal training for me is great. I have kind of wanted to dip my toes in the online stuff a little bit more. I do online nutrition plans and workout plans and stuff like that, but I've not really got into it wholeheartedly. So it's been quite nice to do that a little bit. But that's about it, really, other than just planning on tidying the house, which I've not done yet.
Yeah, you got to get that big clean lockdown.
Absolutely. Spring cleaning.
Yeah,
my spare room is like Monica's cupboard from Friends. Everything, you just throw it in and shut the door. I don't go after it.
Fair enough. Fourth one, what have you stopped doing? Example for me is I used to go down my favourite coffee shops. Obviously that's off at the moment. So is there anything you've stopped doing?
So other than like my own personal fitness journey, because I was on like a little mini cut ready for going to America. So I'm not doing check-ins. I'm not calorie counting. I'm not, like I said, I'm not looking at my body. So personally for me, that's something I've stopped doing. But yeah, I've stopped planning. I'm a big planner. I know I dropped that in earlier, but I'm a bit OCD about being so organised about everything. I like to have stuff planned in, and I live by a paper diary. I can't cope without having it, to visually look at. Yeah. So I think that was one of the biggest adjustments for me, is thinking, right, just slow down, take every day as it comes. So yeah, I've stopped planning. That's been, and you know what? I think it'll actually do me good, just to give my brain a bit of a rest. Yeah. My mind's like 100 miles an hour all the time, and yeah, it's been nice just to slow down. But what I found is, because I'm not planning, I've got nothing, like I'm not getting anything in the diary and thinking I've got to be productive through the week, so I've got time to do that. I'm actually not being that productive day to day. So like that big clear out I was saying I was going to do, I ain't even started it. Because I'm like, well, I've got next week.
Yeah, and then before we know it, we'll be back to normal. So yes. it might never get done. Fifth and final one. What's the first thing you're going to do after lockdown's finished?
Go see family and friends. Obviously, I think that's the main one for everyone, isn't it? Yeah, I've missed them a lot. My parents came round this week to cut the grass, but I've got a fence that goes around the back of the house.
Oh,
so
okay.
They came round the back, and I was just through the patio like this, waving, and my mum's like, I want to give you a hug. So, so it'll be nice. I'm a big family person. I spend a lot of time with my family. So, yeah, go and see them. And my friends, one of my friends is actually stuck in Australia at the minute. She's been travelling. So she's made the decision to stay there as it stands throughout this. She's in a good position that she saved a lot of money before she went, so she can not work, and there'll be no struggle for her really. She'll be all right in hostel, but yeah, hopefully she'll get home, because it's her 30th birthday this year. Awesome. But yeah, I guess probably just reset my routine, get back to normal. That'll be the other thing. Get my holidays rebooked. I've had 4 holidays, and I think 3 of them will probably get cancelled. They're all booked, so yeah.
I think I don't think we're going anywhere this year. Even if the UK comes back round, I don't think. No. I don't think. I think it'll be more in the UK, which is great for me, running an outdoor business. So that'll be spot on. Look, mate, we've gone through it. I thank you very much for your time.
It's gone so quick.
I told you. It always does. Tell the world where people can find you on social media, websites, both your businesses.
Nico Fit, NICOFIT _UK is my Instagram handle, and you can find me on Facebook using that as well. And then Nico's Kitchen is linked from the bio on my Instagram. You've absolutely. If you didn't see that, peace signs.
Yeah, peace out, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a class podcast. Very open, very transparent. It's not very often people will be so open and transparent to people who don't know, and when they do that, it shows me they've got a lot of integrity about themselves.
Oh, thank you.
And it shows me they're like myself. They're the Ronsill man or woman. They do exactly what it says on the tin. It's okay to go up, and it's okay to go down. Just be honest about it all the time, and
absolutely,
that'll always ring true. Look, mate, thanks very much for your time. I'll let you go on doing that. Get that wardrobe started.
I really enjoyed it. Actually.
No problem. Awesome. Cheers, mate. I'll have this out as soon as I can. Cheers. Adios.
Thanks.
Bye.